Jesus taught us the importance of loving ourselves and our families through his words and actions. The Bible says, "Love your neighbor as yourself," Mark 12:31, which implies that we must first learn to love and accept ourselves before we can truly love others. Jesus' teachings emphasize the need for self-love and self-acceptance, not in a narcissistic or selfish way, but in a way that recognizes our worth and value as children of God. One of the most significant ways Jesus taught us to love ourselves is by showing us that we are worthy of love and acceptance regardless of our flaws and imperfections. In the story of the woman at the well, John 4:1-42, Jesus encounters a woman who has been ostracized by her community because of her past mistakes. Instead of condemning her, Jesus offers her living water and accepts her for who she is. This story teaches us that we are all worthy of love and acceptance, not because of our achievements or accomplishments, but because of our inherent worth as human beings. Jesus also taught us the importance of self-care and self-compassion. In the story of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10:25-37, Jesus emphasizes the need to take care of ourselves and our neighbors. The Good Samaritan shows us that loving our neighbors involves taking care of their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. Similarly, Jesus teaches us to take care of our own physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, recognizing that we cannot pour from an empty cup. By taking care of ourselves, we are better able to love and serve others. In terms of loving our families, Jesus taught us the importance of forgiveness, compassion, and understanding. In the story of the prodigal son, Luke 15:11-32, Jesus teaches us that love involves welcoming and accepting our family members, even when they have made mistakes or disappointed us. Father in the story welcomes his son back home with open arms, without condition or expectation of repayment. This story teaches us that loving our families involves being patient, kind, and compassionate, even when they are struggling or flawed. Jesus also taught us the importance of prioritizing our relationships with our families. In the story of Mary and Martha, Luke 10:38-42, Jesus visits the home of two sisters, Mary and Martha. While Martha is busy preparing a meal, Mary sits at Jesus' feet, listening to his teachings. Jesus commends Mary for choosing the better part, which is to prioritize her relationship with him. This story teaches us that loving our families involves prioritizing our relationships with them, spending quality time with them, and nurturing our connections with them. Furthermore, Jesus taught us that loving our families involves being willing to sacrifice and put their needs before our own. In the story of the foot washing, John 13:1-20, Jesus washes the feet of his disciples, teaching them that loving one another involves being willing to serve and sacrifice for each other. This story teaches us that loving our families involves being willing to put their needs before our own, to listen to them, to support them, and to be there for them in times of need. In conclusion, Jesus taught us to love ourselves and our families through his words and actions. He showed us that we are worthy of love and acceptance, regardless of our flaws and imperfections. He taught us the importance of self-care and self-compassion, and the need to prioritize our relationships with our families. He also taught us that loving our families involves being patient, kind, and compassionate, and being willing to sacrifice and put their needs before our own. By following Jesus' teachings, we can learn to love ourselves and our families in a way that is authentic, meaningful, and transformative. By doing so, we can create stronger, more loving relationships with those around us, and build a more just and compassionate world.